Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Friday the 1st of May. Heading home at 20 to 6. The car's informing me that the service is now due, because it is due its 3rd annual service, which I must book in at some point if I can try and remember. I presume they're still doing servicing during lockdown. I don't know, but I suppose we'll find out one with the other. So yes, it's been another hectic week, to be honest. Obviously last week was left on the Friday night. I'd got my ducting so far, but was struggling to get a 3-metre section that was dangling about from the roof into the elbow it had to join. It was frustrating me a bit, so I left it and went back on Saturday, and with a slight adjustment on my hanging and a couple of goes, it moved itself in, it slid into place, so I was quite pleased about that. Didn't take very long, and that then meant I could get on. I had to cut another section, a little section, to get it past the lintel, which is a bit annoying, but such is life. Then all I had to do was fit the elbow pointing upwards towards the roof, climb a very tall ladder, and then well, up the ladder, all I did is I aimed my drill, pointing it upwards, about where the centre of the elbow going up was. Kind of tried to work out where that was, and then drilled through the metal roof. I managed to find a metal bit that was long enough that it would do both skins, because the roof is like a double layer, double skin. So I needed to. Oh, you little sneak, where you come from? Yeah, taxi's coming now as well. Everyone's coming. I want to get going. Bus is queuing everyone up. Taxi trying to overtake someone else. It's mayhem. The taxi won't do it, man. Woo, he's going for it. Everyone's gone mad. So yeah, drilled through from below, because I didn't really want to cut from below for obvious reasons. It's a bit hard, and it's kind of easy to get through a window upstairs and walk out on the metal roof. So cutting downwards is far easier than trying to cut upwards. So I drilled a hole through, and then through the next one, went out on the roof, found the hole. There you are, that's where I need to be. Plonk a bit of ducting. I only had a little section left from all my chopping up. So plonk that so the hole was in the centre of it on the metal roof, and then set to work with the angle grinder, chopping myself a nice big hole. Which is what I did, basically, chopped a hole. So did the one hole, and then sort of drew my lining, but on the inside of the ducting this time, and then did a tighter hole. So that would basically, what it did is it clamped to the ducting I was pushing through, so it gave it a bit of extra support, and that worked really well, surprisingly for me. Right, I'm going to go in, and then we'll do Mr. Nellis when I come back out again. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, to shuffle down, because apparently the Ultimate Diesel's popular because it's good. Makes your car run better and everything. So, why does it come up funny? Mr. Nellis's things to talk about on my vlog. Right, so Mr. Les says the new Scooby-Doo film will now be direct to DVD release. No surprise there. Mia, I've been to Beaumont Park on Monday for your hour's exercise outside. Very good, Richard. Boris Johnson, as he has had a new baby. I know, it's a miracle. I never knew men could have babies. My 33rd birthday on Saturday. Well, happy birthday for Saturday, Mr. Nellis. I hope you have a nice day. It's very exciting and things. So, oh dear me. Yes, made it through the roof with my ducting on Saturday. So I kind of left it because it was really nice and hot and sunny on Saturday, but I wanted to get on with getting that through the roof because I knew the gas man was starting Monday and I wanted it all ready, so once it got the gas main fitted we could get it up and running and could check the burner and be happy with everything. So no, you're a nutbag cat, you're going to end up flat. So I got it basically through. I had to screw the ducting down through the roof. I made that lower hole so tight, but I got it down there. And then sort of got it to the position, and then I had to like go down on the ladder and guide it over the elbows because they have to slide over each other, but they're really tight. So that was a bit of back and forth, just trying to get it to position and make sure it wasn't trying to push the whole lot of ducting down there down, because that would have been bad, especially if my cabling decided to give way from the pressure and the whole lot collapsed after all the time I'd spent putting it up there. So managed to get that through, put my rubber seal that fits around the top of it and goes down, and then you seal it down with silicone. Fitted that in, put the little hat on for the outlet, but left it at that because I had a wall bracket inside to put on. But
risk zone, speed limit,
like I said, I got to the point, it was about 4 o'clock on Saturday. I'd been there for 3.5 hours getting that bit done, and I was kind of happy at where I'd got to. I thought I'll call in on Sunday for an hour and just do the finishing up bit. So I left it at that. I went home to sit out in the sun, enjoy a bit of sun. So did that. Sunday went back, finished off, and that was it. Job's a good one. All the ducting run all the way from the roaster to outside.
Warning,
all ready for the gas man. He came Monday, finished off Tuesday, all connected up, tested the burner, and yeah, it's running great. All lit up. Everything was going outside as it should do, all the heat and everything. Big test is of course going to be roasting some coffee, because the coffee smokes when you roast it, and so if there's any leaks in my ducting anywhere, we'll see the smoke, and then I'll have to re-add even more aluminium tape than I've already used, and I used a lot. So there's that all up and running. Had a Skype call on Wednesday with the factory in Turkey engineers, and so they got me to run each of the motors for the machine so we could check that it was, they were turning in the correct direction, and if any were turning the wrong way, because all the motors are 3-phase, and 3-phase motors are very fussy depending on the way around you wire the phases to them as to which direction they want to spin. So if any were going the wrong direction, they then had me go to the fuse box, and the electrician told me which wires to switch around in the fuse box so that we were then going in the right direction. So did that, and all up and running, nice and happy, everything in the right direction, so they were pleased. Also on, it was Wednesday, my Air compressor turned up. First time I've ever used an air compressor, or had one. So it's a great big thing, like a submarine. Annoyingly, I'd asked Topa and not heard back what size it had to be, because I knew it had to be 8 bar pressure, and had to do air drying, but I didn't know if the size, and they all come in different sizes, you know, 50 litres, 100 litres, 150 litres, 200 litres, 300 litres, all sorts of sizes. And obviously the bigger the size, the more expensive it gets. But I'd not heard back, and I was kind of wanting to get the compressor in, especially for testing the roaster. So I'd not heard back from Topa, and I looked back, and the last time we'd had a 30 kilo, we'd told someone it needed 200 litres. I thought, right, I'll find a 200 litre one. Ordered a 200 litre one, and within an hour Topa had come back, oh, by the way, the engineers say you could get away with just 100 litre on 30 kilo. Thanks. After I bought it doesn't make a huge amount of difference actually in price between 100 and 200, but could have got a slightly smaller one. And to be fair, actually I found one at a really great price, that I could probably in future sell it and get more than I paid for it, and then get a smaller one. But at the moment I just needed a compressor to make it run, so got that, and it's all good. So got that hooked up. Didn't get any pipe work. He said that he was going to send some pipe work with it. Didn't happen, but that's just life, isn't it, really? And it had got, the roaster had just got a little section of pipe sticking out that they'd left in this pneumatic air line. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to hunt about, buy some pneumatic air line just to connect up this the roaster. And it's got 2 outputs as this here compressor, so I could even, you know, I can buy myself more compressed air toys to mess with now, because I can have one for the roaster and I can have another one. You know, you have compressed air guns and things for, like, I don't know, gunning things, and or maybe a compressed air paint sprayer for my painting. It'll be quicker. All these great things I can do now. I've got a great big hair compressor, which, to be fair, is on wheels, which would be super handy for moving it about if I needed to move it about, except I had to fit it behind the roaster to make best use of space. And in order to do that, I had to move the cooling tray forward first to get it in. Therefore, consequently, if I want to get it back out again, I'm going to have to remove the cooling pipes again, because I removed those, but I wanted to straighten them up a bit. They were a bit slight on a wonk. I have to remove them again, which is a bit of a faff. Then move the cooling tray, then pull the thing out and use it for whatever, and then it would need putting back afterwards. So maybe not, unless I had an extremely long hose instead, so I could run the hose wherever I needed it in the building, but just left it where it was there, which would be feasible, I suppose, if hose isn't too expensive. Anyway, so it come with these little push thick bits, 2 outlets you could push your hose onto, and of course I got loads of John Guest water supply hose. So I got that. I thought, well, this is going to push on all right if I heat it up with some hot water to make it pliable. It'll push on. And this airline hose looks like it might just, if I give it some persuasion, slide into the inside to couple them together, and then that push fitted into the roaster fitting. So yeah, I ended up with a cup of hot water with the 2 pipes dunked into it, and then I pushed one onto the push fittings. Obviously it gets progressively bigger, so as you push your pipe on, that stretches. I pushed it on first to make it a bit bigger to then slide the smaller one in. Then used some of my magic tape, super sticky grippy tape. That's been a great bargain actually. I got it off, if you're ever on Instagram, you see it on Instagram ads, and it's this super sticky tape, and then like put it over a bucket of water with holes in, and it seals it straight away, and then they pull it away, and as soon as they pull it away, the water pours out the holes again. But it is actually, it's pretty good. It does stick like anything. Used it for some of the ducting just to keep it together while I was getting the aluminium tape on. So I wrapped that around, and then I had two little Jubilee clips, little clamps, that I could get either side, and then clamped to the pipes. So basically the super sticky tape was between the two of them, and the clamps were holding the tape, and the tape's glued to the thing. I figured that'd be enough to seal the 8-bar pressure. I didn't know, but I thought, well, it's either going to work or it'll pop off. One or the other. And it works in the end. It's been fine. And so then I could just go to the machine and press open gate, and the drum gate goes thunk open. And then you press it again, and it goes thunk close. And then I got really interested in it. I was just there all day. Click, thunk. Yeah, look at it, opens on its own. Click, thunk, and it closes again. So the hydraulic does two things: is the drum gate that lets the roasted beans out, and it also does a gate you can't see, but it's up at the top, that lets the green beans in when you're ready to load the roaster. So a dual purpose thing it is. So got all that working, roaster's all ready, maybe get the first roast in next week, who knows, maybe. Right, I'm off in, so have a good weekend, next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Okay, see ya.